Hey guys, it's Vicky. As promised, we are here at the 4th Sector Social Enterprise Conference. We've got everybody here from Liam Black, who's the world's or UK's leading social entrepreneur. We've got the British Council. We've got impact investors like Clearly So, Venturesome. You want to know what's going on in this room, so I really look forward to showing you. I'm here with the one and only Liam Black. What I really got from Liam is that he takes that ambition from the corporate world into social entrepreneurship. And what I really want to know is, what do you think it's going to take for young people to look at social and entrepreneurship and social enterprises as a serious career? And what can, I guess, the industry do to kind of open those opportunities up?
I think that they'll do it themselves. I don't think young people need to be told what to do. I think that they need to understand there is a fantastic way of living your life, making a living, and making a real difference in the world through enterprise. Whether you call that a social enterprise or not, the skills you have, the way you can network, your ability to speak publicly, your understanding of products and services, you can have a great life, a great income, and make a real difference in the world. And I think that's really changing. I mean, I'm past it now, but 10 years ago, certainly 20 years ago, there wouldn't have been so many young people in this room, and I wouldn't be being invited to speak at universities and meetings of young entrepreneurs. I think things are changing, and I think we'll be looking to young people to be the inspirers and the change makers of the future. But I think if there's anything that old-timers like me can do, it's to kind of show them that it is possible to create businesses that endure, that can have make a big difference in the world, and make one passionate, and make one feel that one is using one's time and life and networks and skills productively.
But what about the actual tangible opportunities? Is the corporate world, or what are you doing with Wavelength or your company to create opportunities for people to get involved from that angle?
Well, what we try and do is we try and bring together leaders from all sorts of different businesses, non-profit companies, corporates, family-owned businesses, entrepreneur-driven businesses. Yeah. And our belief is that they have a lot more in common than they have than differences. And by bringing them together, we hope that extra value can be created, that our social entrepreneurs will get access to supply chains, great mentors, great people for their boards, as well as understanding how to grow a business. And our corporate leaders will understand that the skills that they have about brand, about how to do things at great scale, can have a really positive social impact in the world. I think it's a very exciting time to be alive and to be an entrepreneur and to be a young person. There are way more opportunities than there was when I was young. It was very black and white when I was young. There was charity and there was business. That's being swept away, and I think it's very exciting for young people.
Great. And what can we look forward to, what you're doing, and how can we stay in tune?
Well, what I'm going to try and do is every year before I retire, I want to create another fund to invest in entrepreneurs in particular sectors. So I've done it in energy, I'm hoping to do it in healthcare, but there are lots of other areas. So I don't run one social enterprise now, I'm trying to kind of help create the ecosystem in which the next generation can thrive.
Thank you, Liam, so much, and we look forward to staying in touch.
You bet. And buy my book.
Simon Eville here from Clearly So. Can you just tell us a little bit about what Clearly So does?
Sure. So Clearly So helps high-impact businesses and charities to raise investment. So what we do is we work with entrepreneurs who have a business and a strategy for creating impact in the world, and we help them prepare for and raise capital from a whole range of different investors in the UK and Europe, around the world.
Okay, so have you identified a pattern of the kind of ideas that come through, or is it quite broad?
Well, what I have learnt is unfortunately ideas are to a penny. So there's lots of people with great ideas, but what there's a much smaller proportion of is people that have real stamina, grit and determination to actually see that through and develop that idea into a fantastic business that creates impact. And that's a marathon, and that requires a lot of hard work, a lot of skills, a lot of patience.
But how do you identify that?
I don't know.
What stage does Clearly So come in and you say, okay, right, that's the idea because of that person, because of how long they've been pushing it, or what? What is it?
So we interview entrepreneurs and we review their information, so their investment documentation, their business plan, their financial model. So we get a holistic sense, a broad sense of what they're trying to do. We also have met thousands of other entrepreneurs, so we can assess that entrepreneur relative to where other entrepreneurs were or are in that field or in that industry. They may be doing similar things in a similar field. So we have those proxies for how far along their business is and what potential it has for creating impact and being financially sustainable. On top of that, we're backing people. So we're trying to figure out whether the entrepreneurs, whether the teams that we meet have what it takes to raise investment and to be successful. So the eye of the tiger, you might say. I would say that the largest amount of energy in impact entrepreneurship is coming from the under 35s. It covers all ranges. We've worked with entrepreneurs well into their 60s, but there does seem to be a drive from youngsters to start businesses that are impactful, work for businesses that are impactful, work in government where there's something on a very progressive project that might sort of change the way that government operates. Yes, the strongest indication that high impact businesses and impact investing is the future is the surge of young people who want to work in this field. And on the other side, as consumers, as voters, as investors ourselves, people are showing a preference for transparency, for ethicality, for authenticity, for sustainability, and that's shining through. So there's those supply and demand drivers, if you like.
And are the corporates coming to you guys in any sense?
Some large businesses are very entrepreneurial and are in a long-term process of turning their businesses into more impactful businesses. And there are certain corporates that we've worked with who are very progressive and have actually set up funds and are investing directly into high impact businesses themselves, such as Centrica's Ignite Fund. But we need to see a lot more of this. I think that a lot of corporates are sitting on the fence and are quite comfortable with corporate social responsibility agendas rather than corporate social innovation agendas. Which is about really trying to transform the organisation so that it's set up to create impact in the future and to survive and thrive in the future.
So, were you always a business with social good from the beginning, or were you a business for a period of time then implemented the social good?
No, we actually started off in 2008 with a mission to create a business that done social good, changing the community.
And what is that business?
Well, today it's a £6 million a year logistics company that also uses its profits and infrastructure to retrain ex-offenders and get them into paid employment.
What would you say to aspiring business leaders and entrepreneurs in terms of starting a business like logistics, which really could be just for profit, and there's a lot of them out there, and how to kind of put that change in the centre of it?
Find what you want to do and stick with it. If peeling oranges had been more lucrative to drive social change than doing logistics, we'd have been peeling oranges. Logistics is the vehicle we use to drive social change.
And can you just give us an example of the kind of impact that your business has had?
Yeah, each year, according to the University of Northampton study, we create about £1.7 million worth of social impact. We found it took more work to report on grants than it does to get them. And by the time you've gone through the process of getting them, which seems a long process, you then spend forever reporting on them. So we decided it was easier to make the money through profitability than find it through grants.
We support women social entrepreneurs and essentially their supporters. So we're building an ecosystem where people are very equipped to advise women social entrepreneurs, to finance them, to support them, to talk about them.
So why women?
Because we're still live in times where gender equality is an issue. We claim that women women in social enterprise are having a great environment to evolve. That's nice, but they're only 40% of social entrepreneurs at large, and they also is a 20% pay gap between women and men.
Guys, this is Jess. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
So Jess, what are you doing here?
So I'm really here to learn more about social enterprises. I currently run a small business and it has some degree of impact, but I really want to explore how to run a business that has a much greater impact and also how to scale it up.
And what kind of knowledge have you gained being at this conference?
Sure, I think the real value has been in meeting other like-minded people and just finding out what they're doing and the struggles and challenges they're facing, and also exchanging ideas about how to overcome them. And of course the speakers have been really brilliant as well, and particularly the small groups where we were able to break out and meet with the investors directly and ask them personal questions. That was really valuable.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jess.
No problem.
Hello, this is Michael Norton, who is the co-founder of BuzzBank. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
What I really loved about what you just said is that you've just started a fund that basically is not about business pitches or business plans. So how exactly are people able to, to direct their ideas, and why in that format?
I believe in really interesting ideas which have a capacity to make a difference. But behind those ideas should be passionate people with energy and ambition to make it work. And then it's a learning journey. Every business plan I've seen is a work of fiction. You hope for the future. It's never like that. You learn as you go along. You struggle with problems and you solve them as you go along. You seek advice and help as you go. And with determination you'll get there. It's never a straight line. You know where you're going, but you may get somewhere else. You may go zigzag or even backwards from time to time. But if you're really determined to get there, you will.
Well, I think it's really important because for young people, it's often very off-putting, the business plan process. How do we actually reach out to you and give you our ideas?
Well, I work through my own network. So I have 8 trustees, and I've invited them and their friends to come to me with ideas and contacts they have through their networks. And what I'm saying is that behind every project we support, we want one of our trustees to be passionate about it as well and to work with the project to make it work.
Thank you so much, Michael. We're here with Lily Chong herself, the founder of the Fourth Sector Social Enterprise Conference. Lily, this conference is incredible. Great people, great energy. Have you got the outcome you originally perceived?
Yeah, we're kind of halfway through the day at the moment. Certainly from this morning's session, it's been really great, really inspiring. But I guess this is what entrepreneurship is about. It is going out there and doing what you can do. Connections and bringing people is what we mentioned at the beginning of the conference, and this is what we're seeing, and this is certainly by halfway mark. I think it's a really good turnout.
So the rest of the day is going to be real tangible advice for social entrepreneurs. What can we expect from the Fourth Sector in the future? And when's the next event?
Good question. Afternoon sessions will be really tangible for people because they will break into the different sessions for the startup and the scaling up community. Where the Fourth Sector is, like any entrepreneur, you go out there, you get your products out there, you kind of have to get your feedback, and I think I'll be looking for the feedback from the audience to see how else these social entrepreneurs can be helped, and to see what kind of content, information, network, information, knowledge that would enable them to take their kind of next step. I always say to anybody that's asked me, if I get one entrepreneur taking a leap from sitting from an idea to getting going and to carrying out their impact, that is the success I'm looking for.
So what I've got today from the Fourth Sector Social Enterprise Conference is the conversation around money and raising finance, and how it's not the typical model that's been taken from the mainstream business and just plopped into social entrepreneurship, but they're really looking and starting to look at different models of raising finance. So I look forward to exploring that with some of the investors that were here today and letting you know about it.